I did a comparison video for 30 FPS versus 60 FPS for Gotham Knights, and alongside that video I put out a community post asking if people think I should buy the game or not. And the results come in. There were over 700 votes, and 73% of people said do not buy the game. But I thought, if the game is that bad and I do buy it, then what I can do is make some videos and tell people why they shouldn't buy it to help them make up their mind, because this game is going to set you back £65 just for the base edition on the Xbox, and it will set you back £80 for the deluxe edition. I went and purchased the deluxe on Xbox, so I paid £80 for it, and I can tell you, based on an hour of gameplay, do not buy Gotham Knights. And this is obviously just my opinion and my recommendation, but if you are going to pick up Gotham Knights, then make sure you check out the link in the description. There is a link down there. The title says Get Cheap Games. It'll take you to CD keys, and by using the link in the description, you will be directly supporting the channel. Also check out the other links. We've got merch, Patreon, Buy Me a Coffee, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like. All support on the channel is greatly appreciated. I started off the game and the movement was instantly horrible. It feels like a game that was made back in 2012. It feels really, really outdated in pretty much every aspect. You jump into combat and it's clunky, especially because the game on console, no matter what console you're playing on, I play on the Series X, the game is capped to 30 FPS. The only way you'll get 60 is purchasing the game on PC, and you'll get it a little bit cheaper on PC. But I would honestly wait 6 months to a year and pick it up when it's got a massive discount. Not only because of the clunky movement, the mechanics are horrible, the combat is so repetitive. When you first go on your patrol, you'll realise straight away just how bad it is. And not only that, like when you are trying to move around, sometimes you get stuck. It's like there's some like dead zone sort of thing locking you off on a controller. And when you're fighting enemies, they're all exactly the same type. There are some missions in the game that will lock you out if you're not a high enough level. And all these different crimes and stuff you do whilst you're out roaming the open world, they are so boring, it's unbelievable. There's pretty much nothing to this game besides maybe a bit of lore and an RPG leveling system, which absolutely sucks by the seams of things as well. But these crimes, you go there's like a couple of hostiles, and one of them is going to be basically like a lieutenant. They're going to be a higher rank, and you can grab them, you can interrogate them. It's exactly the same move every single time when you are interrogating an enemy. But not only that, they will always tell you, absolutely every single time I've attacked an enemy or grabbed them and interrogated them, they would always say that they're going to spill information. There's not a single one of them that's a tough guy that's not going to reveal anything, and these just unlock more and more boring, lifeless crimes that you have to go and deal with. But not only that, I got to a main mission where you've basically got to sneak through one of the GCPD, so the Gotham City Police Department buildings. Because you are looking for someone's body, you need to basically check it over for a key. And I basically alerted one of the guards, and instead of being able to leave the area, the guards lose attention, they stop paying attention to you. The game actually locks you out of making progress until you have defeated the guards. So even though you're there to protect the city, the game will force you to actually harm police officers if you are caught. And I really, really didn't like that, because there's an entire upper floor you can go to in this building that will actually let you stay out of sight of enemies once you've alerted them. So there was no need for them to do that. But as I said, you've got the locking out of main missions unless you're a high enough level. You've got the boring open world. Like, you can just get through this open world so fast with the bat cycle, with grappling, with just running around. The crimes are repetitive, the enemies, the AI is so dumb. There's been a couple of times, I got spotted by an enemy, and it was quite close to the start of the game as well. Or it weren't even spotted, I was in the middle of combat with them, and they ran straight past me. There's just so many things in this game that are stupid. They've spent a lot of time making the game, and they've put absolutely no effort into it. And it just feels as though it's a game that should have been released maybe about 10 years ago. It doesn't feel like a 2022 game at all. And not only that, to just further explain how bad the game is, there are big gaming companies out there, or gaming outlets, or whatever you want to call them, that normally are slick developers. They're like full-on brown-nosed companies, like IGN, like GameSpot, and all that sort of stuff, like all those companies. And IGN even gave this game a 5 out of 10. That shows you how bad it is for IGN to give lower than like a 7 or 8, because they typically give 7s, 8s, and 9s for games that are mediocre. But they've given Gotham Knights a 5. I think it was GameSpot gave it a 4 out of 10. And these people are normally giving high ratings. On Metascore or whatever it is, it's got a 70. Like, that was before it even came out. All the critics and everything gave it a 70 out of 100. And I think I read somewhere, it might have been a Forbes post by Paul Tassi. I read that I think the only game this year that's got worse than that for a rating was Saints Row that got 61. But that shows you the sort of level. I didn't come across too many bugs or anything like that, so the technical state of the game, at least within the first hour playing on your own, isn't too bad. But everything else is just lackluster. It's not even mediocre. It's just straight up fucking boring. You always go back to the belfry. You're like trying to progress through all the different gear and things like that. Level up your character and just do some main story missions. Then absolutely lifeless, boring, repetitive open world activities. It's just go and take down this crime. Like, deal with this crime. Deal with that crime. Do this. Do that. And it's just the same stuff over and over and over and over again. There's absolutely no point to this game. I highly recommend staying away from it for full price. It might be worth it if you can pick it up for 20 quid at a push. I probably wouldn't even pay $20, $25 if I hadn't have bought it by now but somehow managed to play it, like a free review copy, and then I had to, basically a demo. If I played a demo and was to put a price on this and had choice of how much to pay, I'd probably slap a $20 price tag on it or something like that. It doesn't feel AAA in the slightest, like at all. Nothing about it feels AAA. The open world is not that big, and you had, I can't remember the exact role, but there was someone that worked on the game. They were like a character technical artist or something like that. They went mad on Twitter trying to defend the game as much as they possibly could, saying that gamers are underpaying for their games based on inflation and stupid shit like that, when we are overpaying because the games that come out don't provide enough entertainment value or anything like that to warrant the price they're being sold for. £80 or even £65, not even the deluxe edition. £65 is an absolute rip-off for Gotham Knights. Whether you're going to have fun or not, there's going to be a lot of stuff you're going to get bored with. The gameplay is so bad for a game that's being released on the Series X and the PS5. As I said, console is capped to 30 FPS. There's no performance mode in this game or anything like that at all. They've been really lazy. They've rushed it out. It feels as though they basically built up an open world and then they were tasked with making activities and story missions and just basically mechanics in the game, and they just half-assed it. They did half the job they were supposed to do, and they just released the game anyway. I've seen live service games in recent times at launch be better than this. And this is supposed to be a full-on single-player campaign that you can play in co-op if you want to. It is supposed to be a full-on game, and it really doesn't feel like it. As I said, these crimes, they've got on my nerves so much. They've really, really annoyed me because they are just so bad. So Gotham Knights, in my opinion, steer well clear of it. I wouldn't go anywhere near it unless you're picking it up for, at the very, very most, about $20, $25. It really is not worth your money. I don't know any other words for it besides boring and just shit. The combat is horrible. It's just like you just spam a button and that's it. And I don't think the difficulty is going to make much of a difference at all. The enemies are just going to be more essentially bullet sponge. They're just going to sponge more attacks. And they're supposed to be mini bosses. I think they're just heavies. I'm not 100% sure with that one. But there's also these knighthood challenges that unlock these, like, they're basically bonus milestones. I think they give you like character unique abilities and things. And one of them is locked behind doing 10 of these open world crimes. So they've basically just gone, there's an ability unique to a character, go and do this side activity because it's pretty much the only thing in the game. And once you've done that, we'll give you the ability. But you have to do it 10 times. Not 5 crimes, not 3, not 8 or anything like that. It's 10. You've got to do these crimes 10 times to unlock this knighthood challenge. It's pathetic that they think this game is worth anywhere near the full-on AAA price tag. And I will be playing more of it because there is gameplay there. And the further I get in, the worse it's probably going to get. But I'm willing to go through that pain just to provide more info about it, because this is based on an hour of gameplay, seeing comparisons, knowing about the FPS, and just playing the game. There could be more to it at some point. I highly, highly doubt it. There are lots of reviews out there giving this game a low score just because of how outdated it feels. The graphics aren't the greatest. It's capped on like both consoles, the Xbox and the PlayStation. It's capped to 30 FPS and there's nothing you can do about it. So many mistakes within development. It feels incredibly rushed and it's not worth your money. What we're going to do is leave that video there though. Let me know your thoughts and stuff about this in the comments. And check out this video if you want to see other content on the channel. That's going to do it for this one. I'll see you in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.